The campfire crackled. Shadows danced around Arthur Morgan. He stared into the flames, lost in thought. His face, weathered and worn, held a lifetime of stories. He was a man at a crossroads. The life he knew, the life of an outlaw, was fading. Arthur was a senior member of the notorious Linde gang. They were feared, respected and hunted. He had spent years in the saddle, robbing and fighting. But now doubt gnawed at him. Was this life he'd chosen truly the right one? The gang was his family. Dutch van der Linde, their leader, was like a father to him. But Dutch had changed. He was reckless, desperate. His grand plans were crumbling. Arthur saw it happening, felt it in his gut. The world was changing, and the van der Linde gang was being left behind. As the fire died down, Arthur felt a chill. It wasn't from the night air, it was the cold hand of uncertainty gripping his heart. He had to make a choice, cling to the only life he'd ever known or find a new path. Arthur's childhood was harsh. He learned about survival on the streets. He met Dutch van der Linde when he was just a boy. Dutch saw potential in Arthur, a raw talent he could mould. He took him in, taught him to shoot, to ride, to steal. Arthur thrived in the gang. He was loyal, capable and ruthless. He rose through the ranks, becoming Dutch's right-hand man. He believed in Dutch's vision of a life free from rules and restrictions. He embraced the outlaw life, the thrill of the heist, the power of the gun. He never questioned Dutch's judgment. He trusted him implicitly. Dutch was a charismatic leader, a skilled manipulator. He painted a picture of a better world, a world they could create through their actions. Arthur believed him. He dedicated his life to the gang, to Dutch's cause. But as the years passed, cracks began to show. The world was changing. Lawmen were closing in. Dutch became more erratic, his plans more desperate. Arthur started to question everything he'd ever believed in. The life he'd built, the life he'd taken, it all seemed to hang in the balance. Arthur lived by a code: loyalty, honor, and strength. He was a skilled killer, but he wasn't heartless. He carried the weight of every life he took. The world saw him as a monster, but he was more complicated than that. He had a soft spot for the innocent, for those caught in the crossfire of the gang's actions. He saw the fear in their eyes, the desperation in their pleas. It chipped away at his resolve, made him question his choices. He found solace in simple things, sketching in his journal, helping those in need. These moments of humanity were a lifeline, a reminder that he wasn't beyond redemption, but they were fleeting, overshadowed by the violence that defined his life. He wrestled with his conscience. He knew what they did was wrong, but he couldn't escape the life he'd built. He was trapped in a cage of his own making, haunted by the ghosts of his past. Fate, it seemed, had other plans for Arthur Morgan. A persistent cough turned into something more sinister, a death sentence delivered by a grim-faced doctor, tuberculosis, incurable. His time was running out. The news hit Arthur hard. He was a dead man walking, but strangely it brought a clarity he hadn't felt before. Knowing he was going to die forced him to confront his life, his choices, his legacy. He thought about the man he'd been, the things he'd done. Regret gnawed at him. He couldn't change the past, but he could control his present, his final act. He decided to make amends, to find redemption in the shadow of death. He reached out to those he'd wronged, seeking forgiveness, offering help. He protected the innocent, even if it meant defying Dutch. He clung to his humanity, desperately trying to salvage something good from the wreckage of his life. With his time running out, Arthur focused on what truly mattered. John Marston, his fellow gang member, had a wife and son. They represented a chance for a better life, a life free from the cycle of violence. Arthur swore to protect them. He helped them escape the clutches of the Pinkerton agents hunting the gang. He put their lives before his own, knowing it was the only way to atone for his sins. His final stand was a testament to his transformation. He faced down his former comrades, his guns blazing. He fought with the fury of a man possessed, fueled by a desperate hope for redemption. He collapsed on the mountaintop, the rising sun painting the sky in hues of red and orange. It was a beautiful day to die. As he breathed his last, he found peace, knowing he had done one good thing with his life. Arthur Morgan's story is a tragedy. A good man trapped in a bad life. He was a product of his environment, shaped by the violence and chaos that surrounded him. But even in the darkest of times, he clung to his humanity. He was a complex character, full of contradictions. He was a killer, but he was also capable of great kindness. He was loyal to a fault, but he knew when to stand up for what was right. He was a flawed hero, but a hero nonetheless. His story resonates with us because it reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, there is always hope for redemption. It teaches us that it's never too late to change, to make amends, to find peace. Arthur Morgan may be gone, but his legacy lives on. He is a reminder that even the most hardened criminal can find redemption, and that even in death there is beauty in sacrifice. Arthur's slow disillusionment with Dutch's leadership created a ripple effect within the gang. His questioning of Dutch's increasingly desperate plans sowed seeds of doubt in the minds of others. He became a moral compass, even as he himself struggled with his own morality. His unwavering loyalty to those he cared for, like John Marston and his family, highlighted the importance of human connection amidst the brutality of their lifestyle. He showed them that family wasn't just about blood, but about the choices they made and the people they chose to stand with. Arthur's final act of defiance against Dutch, protecting John and his family, served as a powerful message. It demonstrated that even within a life steeped in crime, there was room for redemption and self-sacrifice. His actions ultimately led to the gang's fragmentation, saving lives and ending their reign of terror. Though he died an outlaw, Arthur's impact on the Linde gang transcended his fate. He left behind a legacy of questioning, of compassion, and ultimately of choosing a different path. Arthur Morgan's enduring appeal lies in his complexity. He's not a traditional hero, but a deeply flawed individual grappling with his past and seeking redemption. This resonates with audiences as we see reflections of our own struggles in his journey. His gruff exterior hides a surprising vulnerability, making him relatable despite his violent profession. He's a man of contradictions, capable of brutality and tenderness, cynicism and hope. This complexity makes him feel real, a testament to the game's writing and performance capture. His journey of self-discovery, fueled by his terminal illness, adds a poignant layer to his story. He's forced to confront his mortality and the choices he's made, prompting a search for meaning and purpose in his final days. Arthur's story is a reminder that redemption is possible, even for those who seem beyond saving. It's this message of hope, coupled with his rugged charm and relatable flaws, that continues to captivate players years after the game's release. Arthur Morgan's impact extends beyond the confines of Red Dead Redemption 2. He's become a cultural icon, his likeness appearing in fan art, tattoos, and even Halloween costumes. This speaks volumes about the depth of his character and the emotional connection players formed with him. His story has sparked countless discussions about morality, redemption, and the nature of heroism. He's a character that stays with you long after the credits roll, prompting reflection on your own choices and the legacy you want to leave behind. The game's developers crafted a character that transcended the typical video game protagonist. Arthur Morgan is a testament to the power of storytelling in video games, proving that interactive media can deliver emotionally resonant narratives that rival any other form of entertainment. As the years pass and new games are released, Arthur Morgan's legacy will endure. He stands as a high watermark in video game character development, a flawed hero whose journey of redemption continues to resonate with players worldwide.